Well, don't know what it is. Nothing. Can't hear Jack squat. Can you hear Jack squat? Jack is definitely squatting, but I can't hear him. You can hear me? I can't hear me. I mean, I can hear me through the system, but I can't hear me through the browser. Interesting. Oh, there. Now it's coming through. Okay. All right. Looks like everything's good. All right. Good deal. Thanks. I still haven't heard from Lynn, but I'm satisfied with my self-test here. Let me try a spot.
Army Ant Moving calls Cedar Park home for movers that residents and businesses can rely on.
Can you say hi, Suna? Hi, Suna. You're with your goddaughter. Hey. Hope she's having as good a time as you are. You gonna scare her? Okay. How's that? All right, I guess this is sounding pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down and do all the other stuff I got to do before I go on the air. Thanks again for your technical expertise and perseverance, Suna. We'll see you in a little while. I'll shut the stream down. From Cedar Park, Texas, live, it's Timberwolf Night in America. This is the Vype Live Network, and tonight we kick off another season of non-stop honking in the Cedar Park football horn. I'm the V of the T, voice of Timberwolves, Brad Cohn. It's our second show of the season. 123rd show overall, and 9+ seasons spread out over 11 years now. We are live from Al's Barbecue near the corner of Cypress Creek Road and Old 183, just behind the CVS store there. We'll be here until 9 o'clock, so come on over and join us. Josh Willard usually accompanies me on the show, but he cannot be here tonight. We'll just have to muscle through without him this evening. Linda Salvo, our quality assurance agent tonight, closely and diligently monitoring the broadcast from that super secret, high-tech, low-maintenance, ultra-modern, technically advanced, stealthily cloaked pinnacle of online broadcast technology that is the Vype Studios, making sure that we don't sound like a sick yak coughing up a lung or something. Tonight we're excited to have with us several outstanding young athletes. Our guests will be the Cedar Park defensive backs and their coach, Brendan McCarthy. This year's Booster Club sponsors, Covert Ford, Sewell Land Rover and Jaguar, Mission of Hope, Life Family, Reap Financial, TJ Lewis Real Estate, Raising Canes, Kathy Tam Photography, Mungia Real Estate, ROI, Sport Performance and Physical Therapy, One Stop, Rudy's Barbecue, Army Ant Moving, Majoris, and HEB. All right, here's what's on the menu for tonight's show. Not what's on the menu at Alzer's. It's a lot better than this. But what's on the menu for the show? I've got an interesting list of starting quarterback productivity we're going to go over. We'll do the state of the program update. We'll have a brief postmortem on the Cedar Ridge game, a look at other local scores. Then we'll bring on tonight's band, Brendan McCarthy and the defensive backs. Sounds like a band. What kind of music y'all play? Josh and I, well, it won't be Josh now. We'll talk about the 10 greatest Cedar Park comebacks. That will be an exciting one to do. Then we'll engage the first test drive of our new trivia contest with each set of player guests this season. Tonight, instead of going against Josh, we're going to have two of them go against each other for free ice cream. And finally, we'll preview the home opener versus Vandy with Coach McCarthy. Now, since we're doing our first trivia tonight, a little warm-up question for anybody who wants to try and answer. Friday night was the 24th season opener in Cedar Park football history. What is the program's one-loss record in season openers? Anybody hazard a guess? Nobody? 20-4. A confident guess, considering we've lost like 3 of the last 4 right now. 24 years. What's our record in those 24 years in season openers only? Somebody says 16-8. You got to keep in mind, though, that we have, since about 2005, have always loaded our non-district schedule up with top-tier teams, usually, classification higher than us, so those are always tough games. They're not gimmies. They're not playing Aikens, in our openers. So Brendan McCarthy gets it right, 12-12. It's about the only category in all these ways that we slice and dice the Cedar Park football record over the years that isn't just almost sound like hyperbole. It's so good. As season openers, we are only 12-12. We've lost 4 of the last 5. But some of our best teams started out 0-1, such as the 2004 team, Tyler Farr's team, that started 0-2 and went to the regional finals, also losing their opener, and also starting 0-2 was the 2012 team, which never lost again and won the program's first state championship. The 2017 team lost their opener and went to the regional semifinals. The 2009 team lost their opener and won the championship of what the press called at the time the toughest district in Texas. The 2011 team started out 0-1, made it to the regional final, so nobody get themselves all flummoxed over this just yet. All right, now here's something that I guarantee is going to amaze some people. I'm going to read down this list. It's 20 players long, and it's the amount of passing yardage accrued in their very first start by every one of the 20 young men over the years who have started at quarterback for Cedar Park. Now hang with me here, and you'll see why this is impressive. I'm going to start with the least and progress to the most at the end. 20 players. At the least, you'll remember this guy. You might too. Ethan Fry. Remember Ethan Fry started just once or twice when they were going with him and Nate Grimm back in 2012. His start, though, -1 passing yards. So that's at the bottom of our list of 20. The next guy, Baxter Robertson. In 15, was going to be our starting quarterback that year. Got injured in the first quarter up at Baylor Stadium against Aledo. Only passed for 29 yards before his season kind of came crashing down. The next guy, Corey Washington in 03, his starting quarterback debut, 49 yards. He would later throw for quite a few, but not that night. Nate Grimm's first start in 12 against Westlake. It was the next game, Abilene Cooper. Also only 49 yards. In 00, Michael Swoda, a long time ago. Probably nobody remembers him. Only 62 yards. In 99, Steven Schaefer, who was our starting quarterback for the first, second, and third years at Cedar Park. But that first start, only 77 yards. Brian Hogan in 10 was his first start. Threw for 78 yards against Westwood. Very first game played at the Gup. So we're getting a little bit bigger now, right? Next, in 06, Michael Cochran had his first start, 84 yards. In 09, Matt Posey had his first start. It's a pretty good one, 96 yards for Matt, his first start. We're about halfway through the list now. Drew Russo's next in 08, his first start. First guy throw over 100 yards in their first start as a Cedar Park quarterback. Were 108. In 05, Travis Watson with his first start, 110. Roy Bracey, who held a lot of our passing records for a long time, had his first start in 02. He ended up playing quarterback at Appalachian State in college. He went for 112 in his first start. In 14, Amir Alzer. What do you know? Had his first start, threw for 139 that first time out, led that team to the state championship game. Josh Pell last year, his first start, 140. All right, well, we got 6 guys left. Ryan Fiala's first start was in 17, 156. He had some good games. Jake Picorni, our only left-handed quarterback ever, had his first start at 14, threw for 205. First guy to ever throw for over 200 yards in his first start as quarterback at Cedar Park. In 09, No, he wasn't. Because in 09, Nathan Thornhill threw for 207. Sorry about that. He was the first one to go. Okay, so now we're at number 17 out of 20. Max Sexton in 15. A lot of you thought that was going to be him at number 20. 214 yards. Number 19 in 2018, Ryder Hernandez for 216. So only got one other guy who's ever started a quarterback for Cedar Park in his opening day. Guess who that was? Friday night, Aiden Arp with 241 yards, the most passing yards ever by a Cedar Park starting quarterback in his debut. I'm impressed. All right, here's our state of the program update. The all-time record, Cedar Park football now 209-78. You'll look a long ways before you find another high school program that's got a record that good, winning percentage that high. They're now 53-30 in regular season non-district games. As we said earlier, we don't schedule Aikens and Colleen Ellison and Austin Northeast Early College or whatever it's called in our early non-district games. We schedule tough teams, and we've won almost 2 out of every 3 of them. The program is 112-49 away from home all time. Win more than twice as many as we lose. 81-34 in the opponent's home stadium. This is counting the loss the other night in those 2 categories. Cedar Park's record against 6A teams, 26-11, won more than twice as many times as we have lost. They still lead the all-time series with Cedar Ridge 3-2. Their record against all Round Rock ISD teams, 27-19. So there's your state of the program update. All right, a brief postmortem on that Cedar Ridge game from last Friday night. This was our 11th game at the Palmer Palace, which makes it the most visited away venue in our program's history. We are now 5-4. We're 1 ahead. So 6-5 when playing there. I calculated that wrong. On the bad side, well, there's more than we want. Our program has never before experienced giving up a touchdown on the first play of a game, let alone the first play of the season. Unfortunately, neither of those are any longer on our list of things never to do. Late in the game, Ridge threw a 49-yard pass that went out inside the 5. That was their first pass completion of the game that wasn't a touchdown. That's hard to contemplate. We ran 91 plays, the most ever in a Cedar Park football game. Moved the first down chains 22 times, a program record for first downs in an opener. The Raiders ran 34 plays and moved them 6 times, yet we lost by 20 points. One of the reports I generate for the coaches addresses big play vulnerability. This has been a problem for us about the last 5 or 6 years, and this game showed that it still is. 348 of their 418 yards came on just 6 plays. Those 6 plays averaged 58 yards per snap. On all of their other plays, they got an average of just 2.5 yards a snap. So for the majority of the time, pretty good defense, but we gave up too many big plays. We gave up 2 touchdowns in each of the first 2 quarters and never threatened to score any of our own, but the second half saw marked improvement across the board. The defense stopped giving up big plays. The offense sustained possessions, went on 2 scoring drives. We were in a position to force another 3 and out. Ridge punted 6 times, and get the ball back probably about near midfield with 2.5 minutes to play and all of our timeouts left for a sort of honored touchdown to make the final 27-21. But then we gave up a couple of big plays again, 1 long run and a long pass, and Ridge tacked on another touchdown for the 34-14 final. Some of the good points were that the offense did move the ball to the tune of 378 yards. They did move the chains. 8 different receivers caught passes, the most ever in a Cedar Park opener. And on defense, well, other than the huge sore spot of big play vulnerability, they did well on all other snaps. How about this stat? 41% of all Cedar Ridge plays in the game went for 1 yard, 0 yards, or negative yardage. 41% of them. A lot of guys got some of their very first varsity minutes, a lot of great lessons to learn from this one, so onward and upward. Here's some of the observations I had when updating the school record book. I send these off to Coach on Sunday, too, when I do them, so he's heard all of these or seen all of these. Aiden Arp had 299 yards of total offense in his varsity debut. That's the exact same number Josh Pell had against Cedar Ridge last year. Of course, total offense is rushing and throwing. Pell had more rushing yards than Arp did. ARP also completed 17 passes. That's also the same number by Pell in that 2021 Cedar Ridge game. ARP's 241 passing yards were the 41st most in one game in Cedar Park's 287 game history. So again, I want to point out when we talk about records and this is the 41st most, this is the 19th most, this is the 23rd most. It's actually more impressive than it might sound. 23rd most rushing yards in a game or something like that, because we've had 287 games. Say something is the 19th most receiving yards in a half. Well, we've had 586 halves, so 19th is pretty good, So we've got to keep that in mind when I have some of these record spots on the list that I mentioned. The 5 sacks allowed, third most ever in program history. There's something to fix. ARP becomes the 17th Cedar Park player to throw for 100 yards or more in a game. Jaden Gallegos becomes the 98th Cedar Park player to score a rushing touchdown. The next two guys, one of them's going to be the 100th. That'll be pretty kind of cool. Gavin Chapa becomes the 88th Cedar Park player to make a touchdown catch. The 78 yards and receptions for Carter Wohl in the first half is the 7th most receiving yards for an individual in one half in program history. And again, 574 halves. And that's the 7th most. Carter Wohl's 78 last Friday night. The 81 yards allowed in the second half is the 53rd fewest in one half in the program's history of 574 halves, so top 10 percentile. And the 4th fewest in a loss. In the fourth quarter, the Raiders completed a 39-yard pass. This was their first completed pass that wasn't a touchdown. 2 other completions would result in losses of 5 and 7 yards. Thus, this 39-yard pass was their only completion that wasn't a touchdown and didn't lose yards. Only 11 first downs were allowed, the second fewest ever in a season opener. We allowed only 6, believe it or not, to a Westlake team in the 2009 opener that would end up in the 6A state title game. They only got 6 first downs against us, and we lost to them. Considering that stats rules require the tally of a first down for every offensive touchdown play, and since the Raiders got 5 of those, they really only got 6 first downs that actually moved the chains and continued to possession. The 418 yards allowed were the 25th most in program history. The 223 passing yards allowed were the 34th most in program history. Here's the bad ones that hurt a lot. The 83-yard touchdown pass from Killingsworth to Jackson was the second longest touchdown pass ever against Cedar Park. Their 61-yard touchdown pass from Killingsworth to Gentry was the 9th longest touchdown pass ever against Cedar Park. Their 52-yard touchdown pass from Aiden Liston to John Gentry was the 17th longest touchdown pass ever against Cedar Park. The 72-yard touchdown run by Carlos Jackson on the first play of the season was the 13th longest run ever given up by a Cedar Park defense. So some bad ones in there along with some good ones, but like we've always said, if we can't trot out the bad stuff and look at it and talk about it soberly, then we need to get involved in something else. Other scores, 6A scores. Bowie 27, Vista Ridge 7. I don't think that's a big surprise. This one might be. Dripping Springs 23, Vandegrift 20. Now, a lot of people think, well, Vandegrift's going to be pissed off losing that game. I've talked to the guy who's their play-by-play guy. He said he was a little surprised that Vandy didn't look near as strong as he expected him to look. So I would like that to be the truth, actually. Westlake 44, Fort Bend Ridge Point 14. San Antonio Clark 34, Buda Johnson 10, our opponent in the first round last year. Pato, defending state champ up in 6A now, beat Conroe, a solid program, 14-3. Hutto over San Marcos, who got tossed from the playoffs for some sort of cheating over the next 2 years. Hutto won 46-21. Manor 33, defending 4A state champ LBJ 20. Maynard's 6A, LBJ's 4A, so I guess that should have happened. Round Rock 31, Weiss 14. Weiss is up in 6A now. McNeil 49, Del Valle 14. Arlington Martin 39. Lake Travis 31. Oh, that warms my heart. As Josh says so often, drain the lake. Anderson 49, McCallum 3. I guess we shouldn't say that in the year of a drought because that's almost been happening. Thank goodness for the rain lately. Stony Point looks good this year. 53-0 over Austin High, who never looks good. Hayes 64, Aikens 14. New Braunfels. How about this one? New Braunfels 34, Denton Ryan 33. A little surprised at that one. 5A scores. Something called Dallas Parish Episcopal 24, Aledo 14. Whoa. Who is Dallas Parish Episcopal? Well, somebody who can recruit. We know that. They're not UIL. Lake Belton, in their first ever varsity game, brand new school up in the Belton area, they beat Rouse, who's supposed to be pretty good, and they beat them good, 47-21. Rouse was supposed to be good. They lost to a team playing its first game ever. And Rouse is, are they 5A? Or are they 6A? They're 5A. They're 5A. Liberty Hill 35, San Antonio Wagner 21, Marble Falls 52, Connolly 7, Elgin 29, Lampasas 20. Schools from our district: Eastview 27, Westview 42. Georgetown 38, Copperas Cove 14. Glen 34, San Antonio, well, I speak German and I know the pronunciation rules. It's supposed to be Pieper, but I hear everybody saying Piper. San Antonio Piper 10, 34-10, Nick Rogers' new team in their first game ever. Hendrickson 27, that's Chip Killingsworth team over Belton, falls to Belton, 34-27. A&M Consolidated 38, Huntsville 13, Leander 21, Pflugerville 7. I think that's the first time in almost a decade Leander won their season opener. So maybe the Lions are back. College Station lost to Chris Ross Lovejoy team big, 52-27. College Station was in the top 10 in the state in 5A. Lovejoy smacked them around. All right, all our exes coach in Texas. Here is a fast recap. Some of you have already heard of guys who used to be either head coaches, assistant coaches, or players for Cedar Park who are now head coaches of other teams throughout the state. Brad Willard's team, Mount Vernon, 48. Quinlan Ford, 28. Quinlan Ford sounds like a car dealership. Come on down to Quinlan Ford. You'll get to play Mount Vernon and lose. Brandon Smith, now the head coach at Prosper, took over from Chris Ross when he left. They beat a good program, Euless Trinity, 17-13. Trinity has several state trophies in its trophy case. We heard about Ross's Lovejoy team beating College Station 52-27. Those three guys won. All the other Cedar Park guys lost. Belton beat Hendrickson 34-27, Killingsworth teams. Magnolia West over Barbers Hill 28-10. Most people think that's kind of a surprise. Carl Absek's team loses their opener. Joe Willis, Tyler Legacy team, lost to Lufkin 31-21. And we mentioned Nick Rogers' Pieper Piper team. Pieper Piper picked up Peepers, whatever it is. They lost to Glen 34-10. So Nick probably knows some of those guys he played the other night. So our guys went 3-4. I guess we have to say 3-5 because Quintero's team, us, lost the other night as well. Former assistant coach of ours. All right, now is when we normally do Josh Willard's segment, The Wonderful Willard of Oz, where his hot air in his balloon takes the show anywhere he wants it to go. Josh is out tonight tending to some business, some personal business, so we're not going to take his fascinating voyage through the wonderful world of Willard. We're going to just take an early break, and we'll give the Coach Brendan McCarthy, and the players a little bit more time to talk between the two breaks. We're going to take a short one. When we return, our guests, Coach Brendan McCarthy and the defensive backs. Stick around. You're listening to Timberwolf Night in America live from Alzer's Barbecue in the heart of Cedar Park, right here on the Vype Live Network.
You know the Alzer family. They've been involved in Cedar Park sports for years, just as Alzer's Barbecue has been involved in Cedar Park cuisine for years. It's one-of-a-kind, authentic Texas barbecue. Brisket, turkey, chicken, lamb, terrific sides and sauces. It's sheer succulence. That's Alzer's Barbecue, next to the CVS on Cypress Creek Road, just west of Old 183.
Army Ant Moving calls Cedar Park home. They are Cedar Park movers that you can count on. Army Ant Moving stands above the rest. Their reputation speaks for itself. They received the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 2 years. Their staff is professionally trained and certified, so you can be assured that your cherished household possessions are in good hands, whether you're leaving, arriving, or just relocating to the Cedar Park area. Call them today for a fast, free, and competitive moving quote at 800-497-5828.
As the #1 Ford volume dealer in Central Texas, Covert Ford has hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. They can even assist you with custom ordering your dream car, truck, or SUV. Since 1909, when you shop at Covert Ford, you're more than just a customer. You're part of the Covert Ford family. Visit covertford.com or stop in for a test drive to experience the Covert commitment to excellence.
#1 volume sales dealer in Austin based on total new retail sales. Ford Report 2021, Austin, Texas, Metro Market.
A premier real estate brokerage in Central Texas, Mungia Real Estate's innovative buy-sell process results in their listings selling faster than the Austin average. Their attention to clients sets Mungia apart from other brokerages, with creative marketing strategies, savvy negotiation skills, and a commitment to hard work and excellent customer service. Whether it's residential, single-family, multifamily, condos, commercial, or vacant land, Mungia Real Estate knows the Austin market and connects buyers with sellers every day. And they do it with professionalism. Mungia Real Estate at 512-922-4267 or mungiarealestate.com. That's MUNGIA. At Sewell, building relationships, not selling cars and trucks, is our first priority, and it has been for more than a century. Customers for life. That is our aim. Generations of customers have bought their vehicles from our dealerships. The secret is in how we treat others and each other. Sewell is still the family-owned business it always has been. You never get the feeling that it's just business. A sense of family and the importance of long-term relationships always come through. You can experience our service in the Austin area at Sewell Land Rover and Jaguar at 13910 620, just a mile east of 183.
All right, welcome back. Episode 2 of Timberwolf Night in America for 2022, live from Alzer's Barbecue here in Cedar Park. I'm Brad Cohn, not joined by Josh Willard, who had to miss tonight. Len DeSalvo is our QA tonight here on the Vype Live Network. And now, our first guest this evening, coach of our defensive backs, Brendan McCarthy. Hey, how you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm doing well, and you, Brad?
I'm doing well. I'm going to make sure I got you turned up enough. Go ahead and talk again.
Hello?
Okay. All right, there we go.
Good.
Coach, your second year with the staff now, I guess, after spending a long time leading the middle school program. And how are you settling in now after a year?
I feel a lot better. I feel more comfortable and more confident in what I'm doing. And the guys that we've got here tonight and this season, I think, hopefully are acceptance of me, and I think they're great guys, and I think we made a lot of strides, and we keep getting better, and anyway, I'm feeling a lot better.
Now, I don't remember, did you coach DBs last year as well?
I did.
You did?
Yes. So, yeah.
What kind of lessons did you learn as a defensive backfield coach last year that you might be carry forward to this group this year?
We're really going, from the middle school up to the high school and the varsity, just really the speed of the game and being able to make the adjustments and seeing the different checks that you need to make on game time, right at the spur of the moment, so I feel better about that, and that's really the biggest, I think, learning lesson is just the speed of the game and being able to see where we need to make the corrections and see the checks and the calls and that type of thing.
There's the old adage that they always talk about on TV sports about defensive backs got to have no memory. They just got to go out there every time, line up and do it. That's never more true than in this last game.
Correct. Yeah, you got to, right? I mean, that's the good thing and the bad thing about being secondary, right? I mean, you can make an interception, everybody loves you and sees you, or you miss it, right?
Yep.
And they get a touchdown and they blame you,
right.
Type thing.
You got to forget those things. I was a defensive back in high school too. I was a strong safety, but it's back in the day when they ran the wishbone. So my main job was lining up on the tight end side and coming up and getting the pitch guy on the triple option. Didn't do a lot of pass defense. So, your guys have got to do it all.
We do, and that's when we were talking earlier is just how much it's changed since I played, since we played, and these guys, we put so much on these guys as far as just the different coverages that they do, whether it's man, zone, different types of zones. checking from zone to man to zone, and or whatever it may be. It's I'm impressed on how much these guys can learn and do at this level, and they welcome it, and they want that.
Do you have any one of the defensive backs who is kind of like a captain, a leader of the defensive backs core that's one you kind of dump things on more, maybe?
Yeah, Alex right here. He
give the full name now.
Alex Underwood.
Alex Underwood.
Yeah,
he'll be on in a few minutes.
Yeah, he will be, and he is, and he was around last year and filled in on some injuries and filled in, and he stepped in and played wonderful. So it was real nice to have him back. But it's funny. We have a joke that he asked. I got to come off about 5 questions. He'll if we go, he'll go 15, 20 questions in a matter of time. So I cut him off about 5.
And maybe he'll be one of our participants tonight in the ice cream trivia contest.
Yeah, I think he is. So, but anyway, it's great to have someone like him as a leader on there, and where the other guys know, they can go to him and ask some questions, and he'll come to me as well if he has a question. He's not afraid to ask the question, and and that's it's good to have.
Now, do you have some other coaches who help you out coaching the DBs?
I do. Coach Poole, he helps with the safeties, and he also coaches soccer. He's the head girls soccer coach.
Oh.
And so they had he couldn't make it tonight because he had Booster Club meeting for tonight. And then Coach Wilco coaches the corners, and he couldn't make it here tonight either. So there's 3 of us, so it's fun. We all get along real well. And
now, for the sake of the new fans, we talk every year on this show about how about a quarter of our fan base graduates out the top every year, and a quarter of it comes in new. Those may or may not remember you at the middle school. Some of them do. But just tell everybody again how you got to where you are, where you went to high school, where you went to college, how you got to where we are now.
Well, I grew up in Arizona, smaller town north West Arizona called Kingman, and then I went to I played football. I went to Scottsdale Community College, and then played there, and then went to Arizona State. So went there, graduated from there, and then I started coaching.
What's your degree at Arizona State?
Finance. Business finance. Yes, sir. Then I started coaching high school at a town right outside of Phoenix called Apache Junction. So I started there, and then we ended up moving to Texas in 2001. And it was interesting because my very first job that I got, we came here, me and my wife, and she was a teacher, or is a teacher as well. I'm trying to remember how I got in touch with Kelly Reeves, and I was talking with Kelly Reeves, and he said, well, I got a position open up in Round Rock, in a place called Hopewell.
Yeah,
so
middle school. So I just took it because we kind of wanted to move here, and that was the first job that I got offered, so I took it. And to be honest, never really thought about I was going to coach middle school. Never thought of it at all. And I actually did enjoy it. And so I was there for 6 years, and then moved to Cedar Park in 2006. Okay. And
then started at Cedar Park Middle School, and then I was there, I think it was 6 years before I became the coordinator there. And then
when you were a player, what was your position?
Quarterback.
Were you good? Come on, let's be honest.
I think it was all right.
All right,
yeah, so
cool. What kind of offense you run?
The old school, just I
formation, pitching to a back and sometimes throw. And
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
familiar with that one.
Yeah, so I did that. And,
well, cool. That's good.
But anyway, yeah, and then, like I said, moved up here to the high school 2 years ago. And
I have some relatives in Tucson. My uncle and aunt and their kids all been in Tucson since the late 50s, I guess. And he was a big muckety-muck for Mountain Bell Telephone back before ATT kind of changed all that. And he was in charge of all maintenance for Mountain Bell west of the Rockies, and that was headquartered in Tucson. And when you drive by downtown Tucson on I-10, that tallest building in downtown, that was the AT&T building, and his office and his staff were the top floor of that. So he had the tallest office in Tucson, and he was a University of Arizona alum, a dues-paying luxury box owning guy for years, and I occasionally would get to go out and see games out there for that. So that was kind of interesting. I know they're your big rivals there,
they are,
Arizona State.
And what's kind of fun is Coach Woko. He played at UVA.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to talk to him about that when he comes on.
Yeah, and so we have a good little rival going and type thing, and so it's kind of fun to go at each other when they're playing each other. So.
All right, Brendan McCarthy, defensive backs coach this year and last, second year of the staff. And now, Coach, hand over your headset to whichever player you want to choose, and let's have him move in here, and we'll talk to them. Give a chance for players.
All right, I'll let you have. Here's Alex Underwood.
Alex Underwood's coming in. We're kind of back here in a booth in the corner of Alzer's, and look, they've got us a little ambiance here. Look at all these Cedar Park Timberwolves posters and rosters and pictures that we got on the wall right over our head here. Alex, how you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Now, what class are you?
I am a class of 2023, a senior.
A senior. And you played last year?
Yes, sir.
Have you always been a defensive back?
Yes, sir. As far as that I know. Closer.
Yeah, it's a little closer is all.
Right there?
All as far as you know?
Yeah.
You a safety? Have you ever been a corner?
Never a corner, always been a safety.
That was me. I was a safety. What is your favorite thing about playing defensive back?
The fact that you can go downhill and be like a linebacker and cover. You're not just always going down on the run. The fact that you can always get the picks, get the big hit. You're always playing that flex role, Well, meanwhile, the corner, they're always in the one-on-ones. The safety, they can come down and get the hit. They can play deep. They can be anywhere that they need to be.
In my day when I was a safety, as a strong safety, pass coverage was kind of not required very often. They throw 9, 12 passes a game, and it's always a surprise to figure out where you're supposed to be on this one. And, I didn't like that much because, I just kind of had to run alongside the guy and probably didn't even come to him, and we just jogged to a stop and went back. If it did, I'll lunge and try to bat the ball or whatever. Didn't happen very often. What I liked was run defense, what you were just mentioning. The reason I played football, and I've said this before, is to be able to do to somebody something that you would get arrested for outside the stadium. Absolutely loved planting people on their spine. How about you?
I love being able to just get hands-on. Even whenever we go like a man coverage, I love getting hands-on. I can't play that deep coverage. That's not meant for me. I've always been that alley player coming in for the hit.
That's good. So, what kind of drills do you guys do in practice that sharpens your skills at coverage? Because that's what I would have to. I was a good run defender. Coverage, I have to do this again.
We have this great drill that Mccarthy, as far as I know, he's made. He calls it his half line drill, or half drill. That's what he calls it. And we'll be in the middle of the field and we'll weave back and forth, depending on where he's opening his shoulders. And whenever he throws the ball, we'll break on the ball. So it's like working on reading the quarterback instead of more of reading the man. It's reading the quarterback and where he opens his shoulders.
Yeah, kind of have one eye on him and the other eye the other way.
It's keeping your openings around, your perspective all on everybody.
My big problem, I believe, in pass coverage was that I had really good reflexes. And so the first move they made, boom, I'm gone over here and they're open. I never really solved that. All right, in the defensive backfield, who's the best singer?
Best singer?
Yeah.
I gotta say Scott Marsh. That man knows all of his songs. He can give you out in 80s, he can give you out in 90s. He's not so much in the new songs, but he'll give you out in oldies, and it's pretty fun to sing along with.
Good, I'm an oldie myself. I prefer the oldie. So Scott Marsh, the best
Scott
singer.
Marsh,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, who's the best liar?
Best liar? Well, I don't know. They lie so well.
Is that a lie?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
Well, Alex, what do you got planned for post Cedar Park High School coming up for you here?
For me, I am looking towards more military options.
Which branch?
Navy specifically. Going more in for like the construction after school or after Navy, and then so we'll see how long in Navy. If I really like it, I'll stay in it for a long time. If not, then we'll get out of there and go straight into construction.
What kind of function are you looking for as a Navy person? What kind of job in the Navy?
There's this certain role called a CB.
Oh, yeah, okay. That feeds
Yeah.
right into construction.
Right into construction right there. So I'm hoping to get like my training hands-on. Never been much of a guy to sit behind a desk. Always hated that.
Yeah.
So to get my training, like hands-on stuff, be able to get on-job training, and just be able to learn there, and then after hop right into a job all learned.
Great. Now, are you going to do that? Are you go in enlisted, or are you going to go to college first and then get into the CBs, or what, use them to maybe to help pay for college later, or what?
Probably enlisted. I've never been a big school guy. I've never really enjoyed. I can't wait to be out of school. I mean,
stay eligible now. Keep your nose to that desk.
I've just. It's always been one of mine where I'm like, I'd much rather experience the world. Go and travel. Always do that more stuff. So Navy was like kind of the perfect fit for me.
Anybody want to give a shout out?
Definitely my parents. I mean, they've always been my role models, always been there for me.
Good.
They've always supported me in everything that I do.
And what about her?
Her?
Yeah, who is she?
Give
her a shout out.
My girl, Camber Hill.
Oh.
She was a trainer last year. She's graduated. She's in college. She's doing pretty good.
Oh, good.
But she's also been there to help support me through Cedar Park.
All right, Alex Underwood, our first guest. And Alex, if you'll pick one of these guys, hand the headset to them, have them come over here. We'll go with the next guest of the defensive backs here at Cedar Park. Heard from Coach McCarthy and senior Alex Underwood. Yeah, and put that little thing. See how close mine is?
Yeah.
Kind of close. Yeah.
That good?
All right. First and last name for everybody's listening. What your number is?
I'm Cody Manning, and I'm number 20. I play safety as well.
Ah. Now, do we have the concept of strong and weak safeties like we used to in my day?
I mean, kind of. Yeah. Not as defined as y'all did, but
that's true. In our day, the strong safety was on the side where there were more receivers, usually the tight end and a wideout. The other side just had a wideout.
Yeah.
Now maybe there's 3 wideouts and 2 over here. So would you be as the strong? Would you be on the guy with the side that's got 3?
Not specifically. Like, we don't switch sides.
That's
just
not the
based
reason
off.
anymore.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you like best about being a defensive back in high school football in, by God, Texas?
Well, it's not the easiest position to play. It's actually
definitely
one of the hardest.
Yep.
So, but things to enjoy while doing it. Honestly, just like your position group, because like the DBs are. I'm not gonna lie, the DBs are some funny guys. It's great being around these guys because sometimes those linebackers are just meatheads and they don't got much of a personality. But DBs are definitely fun-filled guys that you want to be around. So.
Cool. Who's the best dancer in the defensive backs?
I might give that to Cole McLaughlin.
Cole McLaughlin, best dancer. And why would you say that?
That dude is something else, to say the least.
We'll have to have him give us a little jig here. All right, what's your favorite and then least favorite subjects in school?
I'm a big numbers guy, so I could go with math for my favorite.
That's
and then
good.
Least favorite is probably science, so physics right now. That's a
lot of math in those.
I know.
Applied math.
Yeah, but that's a tough class. So.
Yeah, well, I like that. Craig, over the years we've had a lot of players say their favorite subject is math, and I'm really pleased with that. I mean, we need more math heads in the world. All right, well that's good. Where do you plan on going to school afterwards?
I'm a junior right now, so we don't really have I don't have a determined school right now, but probably like Texas State or like Texas Tech, somewhere around there.
Leaning those ways.
Yeah.
Where did your parents go to school?
My dad ran track at Texas State, then my mom went to UMHB.
Okay. Okay. All right. Good. Do you got anybody you want to give shout-outs to?
My grandparents. They always aid me for whenever I need it for everything
great.
Basically.
And what is her name?
Like their actual name or like the name I call them?
No, I mean her.
There's hers, but not.
Oh, there we go. Okay, well you don't have to name them all. We know how that goes. All right. Thanks a lot. Cody Manning, a junior, so getting experience for next year. I think we can have a pretty darn good team next year. Let's hand the headset over to the next guy and bring him over here. He wants to finish it off. All right, give first name, last name, and your number and your class. And pull it, pretty close.
Yeah, okay. I'm Cole McLaughlin, 2024, number 24.
All right, Cole, you've been voted, or at least named, as the best dancer. And why would you think somebody would say that?
I'm I don't know.
How do you earn that?
I'm just a interesting person, I guess you could say. Just my head's bouncing everywhere all the time. So, yeah.
Who would you say is the comedian amongst the defensive backs?
I gotta say Jace Meredith.
Jace Meredith.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Give me his best line. If it's appropriate.
It's not appropriate.
All right. So, what are your least and most favorite subjects in school right now?
Least, definitely science, and favorite, I gotta say math.
Math, another good math. Now, you didn't just say that because I was complimenting people who said that.
No.
Right? You're honest math head. That was my least favorite. I liked almost all the others. Math, I think the reason was I didn't like doing number crunching for number crunching's sake. I hated looking at a worksheet of 79 long division problems or something. Now, if I was presented with some sort of problem in construction or navigation or science that required me to do math, that's fine. I like applied math. I like using it to get something done. I just didn't like sitting there under the scrutiny of the teacher, long-handing all these formulas out. I didn't like that at all. What do you think you're going to be doing after high school?
Oh.
And did you say you're a junior or senior?
Junior.
Junior, okay. So you got a little while to go.
Yeah. Mainly just planning on going to college, just see where the road takes me. Just let me.
Got any ideas for a career, even if there's multiple of them right now? What would
I'm just.
Nothing in particular? See what drifts into your frame of consciousness?
Yeah.
So you probably aren't leaning to any particular school or another yet either, right?
Well, my dream is Texas, but that's way far out of my reach. No,
well, you never know. You got 2 years to work on things. I'm a Texas class of '83, so.
Ooh, hook 'em.
Hook 'em. I almost did this.
Oh.
All right, you got any shout-outs you want to give?
Just my parents and my friends.
Good deal. What friends?
Jace, Meredith, Carson Foster, Hudson Glaze, and that's really it.
Good deal. What do you think is the strong point of your defensive back core?
I gotta say probably one-on-ones now and then. I can have my good times and really bad times, but
yeah,
it's a 50-50 usually.
This is your first year on the varsity, right?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, things will get better.
Yeah.
Every coach will tell you. There's one right now that'll nod his head while I'm saying this. Is that the biggest improvement in a football team in the season is between game 1 and game 2, and I think we'll see that this week. All right, thanks, Cole McLaughlin. And is it McLaughlin or
McLaughlin?
McLaughlin. Okay,
yeah.
I want to say it right because I'm going to be saying your name on the air all the time. All right. All right, Cole, if you'll hand that to the next guy who wants to try this. We're interviewing the DBs tonight. Giving a chance for folks to get a chance to know these defensive backs that you see on Friday nights down the field. So, first name, last name, number, and class.
Jace Meredith, number 6, and 2023.
I think we called your name out quite a bit the other night. And you're a senior.
Yes, sir.
What plans do you think you're going to have for after school at Cedar Park?
After I graduate, I'm probably just going to go into construction and work for one of my friends' dad's company, Chasco.
All right. And what kind of construction? Do you like buildings? And
yeah, so their company just built the Austin FC Stadium.
Oh!
So, yeah, they're big.
I thought that name sounded familiar.
Yeah, it's big stuff there.
Cool. So what's your favorite and least favorite class at Cedar Park right now?
My favorite class was last year, and it was Money Matters with Coach McCarthy.
Ah.
Yeah, he was a great teacher.
Finance graduate, yeah. He probably knows a little bit something about that.
And then my worst class,
football.
I don't know. I don't really have one.
Don't have a least favorite. Well, that's good. Really. That's good. That's a good deal. Now, you've been described as the comedian of the. So how do you propagate that? How do you get to be called the comedian of the defensive backs? What's
honestly,
your forte?
I mean, honestly, it's just whatever comes to mind. And, I mean, normally it's just like the environment I'm in and then just bounce off that.
Quick idea, quick mouth.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Good idea. So, what is it that you like best about being a defensive back down on the field?
It's definitely, I like the pressure, which
Ooh.
is strange because
I like that.
But I mean, just like whenever you do make a play, it's normally a big one, and so it's nice to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding. What is your best moment so far in Cedar Park football? I know it's only one game so far, but it doesn't have to be a game. It could be a practice. It could be a workout. Whatever.
Honestly,
what sticks in your brain?
It was probably the senior night last year. It was just like nice to be with all the seniors and celebrate like their careers over the years, and I got really close with them, and so
good.
It was just nice to celebrate how far they came.
All right, you got any shout outs?
My family, Cole, Carson, Cody, all DBs, and Coach Woke.
Coach
Woke.
Oh, okay.
Coach.
And don't forget her.
Oh, single man.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
There you go. Probably wise. All right, Jace Meredith, the funny guy. Now, Jace, if you'll hand him off to the next guy, last one, right? I think, right? All right, name, rank, and serial number. First name, last name, and class. And
Garrison Cockrell, number 33, class of 2024.
Garrison Cockrell. Now, you don't happen to be related to Mike Cockrell, who left us last year,
No,
do you?
sir.
Did everybody ask you that all the time?
Yes, but our last names are spelled different.
Different, okay. How's yours spelled?
Cockrell.
R-E-L-L.
His has an I.
His was I-L-L. Yeah, I remember that. Went to Georgetown.
Yeah.
What's the matter with that guy? Ugh. Yeah. All right, so tell me what you like about being a defensive back at Cedar Park.
I like being like the last line of defense, being able to stretch the field and just kind of you can make a play anywhere.
Do you like pass coverage better or hitting somebody in a run and play?
Both.
Are you a corner?
I'm a safety.
Safety?
But I, like
I didn't ask the other guy. I guess most of these others have been corners, huh?
Jace is a corner, Cole's a corner, and Cody's a safety.
Okay.
I'd say my favorite part is probably getting interceptions.
Yeah, why not? Why not? And running them back.
Yes, sir.
There you go. So, Garrison, what do you got as far as plans post-CPHS?
I want to go join my brother at A&M.
Ah, what are you going to study there?
Probably business.
Business
finance.
school at A&M? What, is that what he's in? Or
Yes, sir.
How much older than you?
He just graduated.
Oh, okay.
So it's his freshman year at college.
Okay. So you'll be right behind him, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, what's your least favorite thing to do at Cedar Park High School?
Schoolwork.
All school work.
Yeah.
There's a good answer. What's your favorite class?
Probably pre-cal.
Pre-cal. That's even better than math. But, Craig, nobody has said this time around what my favorite class was. I always want somebody to say that. That was history. You like history at all?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
That was always my favorite class. One of my history teachers had a great line one time. You know, we'd gone in and we'd gone to our math class and our science class and our English class and whatever. And the guy starts his class on the first day of school and says, "Okay, you've all been to your math classes, and you've been to your English classes, and you've been to science and other places, and all those are worthy skills to learn to take you through life. And you need to pay attention to those classes and get as good at those individual skills as you can, because we're going to learn about what everybody on earth went out and did with those skills." And I thought, oh my God, yes. That's the course I want to take. It just kind of marries all. Yeah, that's what everybody went out and did when they learned these other skills, these individual skills. But nobody said history tonight. But anyway, and you don't like history much?
No, sir.
What is it that makes you not like it?
You
probably haven't had a good teacher.
Yeah, I mean, no, my teacher's interesting. He's a funny guy.
That's different than being a good teacher, I noticed.
Yeah.
I had a lot of interesting teachers, too. All right, you got any shout-outs?
Shout out to my parents and my coaches because they've always believed in me.
Well, good. What about her?
I don't got a her.
All right. There you go. You don't need a her right now.
Yes, sir.
It just kind of distract you. All right. That's Garrison Cockrell. And we have talked to all of our DBs now. The coach, Brendan McCarthy, Alex Underwood, Cody Manning, Cole McLaughlin, got to get that right, Jace Meredith, and Garrison Cockrell. And so we're going to take another short break, and when we return, more nonstop honking of the Cedar Park football horn right here from Alzer's Barbecue on Timberwolf Night in America. This is the Vype Live Network.
What is Vype Live? Vype Live is one of the largest and most respected broadcast and live stream networks in the state of Texas. Vype Live broadcasts any sport you can think of for youngsters of any age, from Pee Wee and Pop Warner to high school, club, college, semi-pro, and beyond. We also broadcast plenty of academic, fine arts, and community-related events as well, and now as partners with Flow Sports. Email us at info@vypemedia.com to find out more. Vype Live, we bring your teams to you.
Reap Financial is proud to join you in support of Cedar Park football. Go Timberwolves! It's Chris Herline here, and teamwork is the key to success in football and in life. Lessons learned and memories made on the gridiron stay with us for a lifetime. And working with a trusted financial team can help grow and protect your assets today and continue your legacy for generations to come. Reap Financial, serving our Austin community for 15 years. Visit us at reapfinancial.com.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Texas, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who play high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So, where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
You know the Alzer family. They've been involved in Cedar Park sports for years, just as Alzer's Barbecue has been involved in Cedar Park cuisine for years. It's one-of-a-kind, authentic Texas barbecue. Brisket, turkey, chicken, lamb, terrific sides and sauces. It's sheer succulence. That's Alzer's Barbecue, next to the CVS on Cypress Creek Road, just west of Old 183.
As the #1 Ford volume dealer in Central Texas, Covert Ford has hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. They can even assist you with custom ordering your dream car, truck, or SUV. Since 1909, when you shop at Covert Ford, you're more than just a customer. You're part of the Covert Ford family. Visit covertford.com or stop in for a test drive to experience the Covert commitment to excellence.
#1 volume sales dealer in Austin based on total new retail sales. Ford Report 2021, Austin, Texas, Metro Market.
All right, here it comes. Metal Shop. Hear that just after halftime every Friday night on the sidelines from the back-to-back state championship band. So welcome back, Timberwolf Night in America, Episode 2 from Alzer's Barbecue. I'm Brad Cohn. Linda Salvo, our QA tonight here on the Vype Network, bringing all the stuff from right here in the heart of the 613. We've been talking with our first player guests of the season, the DBs and their coach, Brendan McCarthy. A special feature now. I'm going to review what Josh and I think are the 10 greatest Cedar Park comebacks ever. The first one, 2009. Josh was on this team as a junior. Down 14-6, 2 plays into the second half against 4th ranked in Texas, 8th ranked in the U.S., Stony Point. Cedar Park outscored the Tigers 21-7 the rest of the way, scoring the winning touchdown with 1:31 left in a 28-21 win. This game was the coming-out party for sophomore quarterback Brian Hogan, who threw for a touchdown and ran for 2 more, including the game winner at the end. Hogan had 161 rushing yards against the top rushing defense in the state at the time. 2 weeks later, Cedar Park clinched their second 6A district championship. 2004, a few years prior to that, a team that Tyler Forrest, one of the assistant coaches now, is a team captain on, a fullback. 2004, they're down 7-0 to Leander with 3:20 to play. The defense forced a fumble. Zach Williams returned it 35 yards to tie the game. On the first play after a Leander 3-and-out, Corey Washington, the quarterback, went 58 yards to take a 14-7 lead. But then we gave up a touchdown pass with 14 seconds to play, but still won in double overtime, 23-20, on a walk-off touchdown pass from Washington to Tyler Forrest, clinching an undefeated district championship. This was Cedar Park's first ever win over Leander, and we haven't had very many losses since. 2009, Josh's junior season again. In the first round of the playoffs, just 3 weeks after that huge win against Stony Point, at home against Cypress Ridge at Bible Stadium, the brand new one, we fell behind late in the second quarter. Oh, this is unbelievable. Craig, you'll remember this. We fell behind in the second quarter 33-0. I mean, people were leaving the stadium. It was so bad. Amazingly, we then scored 5 straight touchdowns. Nathan Thornhill with an 18-yard pass to Dylan Cox. Brian Hogan, a 6-yard run. Chet Moss covered a fumble in the end zone. Hogan ran in a 2-point conversion then. Then Hogan with another touchdown run. Finally, Thornhill hit Michael Darby from 15 yards out. And we had come back to take a 36-33 lead with 57 seconds left in the game. But then we gave up a 45-yard field goal at the buzzer to go to overtime and lost 39-36 in double overtime. This one wasn't a win, but it was still one of our greatest comebacks and the greatest point margin erased to take a lead. 33-0 down, and we went up 36-33. Still lost. 2021, last year, everybody will remember this, so this will be fun. Down 28-7 midway through the second quarter on the road against Georgetown. Cedar Park outscores the Eagles 29-3 over the next 15 game clock minutes after taking their initial lead of the game at 29-28 halfway through the third quarter. Georgetown then retook that lead at 31-29. Cedar Park scored again to lead 36-31. Georgetown retook it at 37-36. Cedar Park retook it at 42-37. Georgetown retook it at 45-42. Then with just 13 seconds left in the game, Josh Pell launches a 54-yard touchdown bomb to Cody Marshall to seal a 49-45 win. That was a tremendous experience for everybody. 2010. Now, last week on TNIA, we played for you the last 3 minutes of my and Jim Byerly's call of this game. Down 35-28 to Vista Ridge with 2:29 left. Brian Hogan led an 86-yard touchdown drive, hitting Joseph Washington with a 17-yard touchdown pass with just 28 seconds left to pull within 1. Hogan then hit Michael Waterfield on the 2-point conversion. Zach Espinoza picked off a deep pass, and Cedar Park kept an undefeated season alive with a 36-35 win. In 2014, the year that Amir Alzer quarterbacked this team, down by 14 twice against Eastview, 21-7, 105 in the second quarter, then 28-14, 437 in the second quarter. Cedar Park then outscored the Patriots 34-3 from 16:37 into the game through to the end. They did have a trail once more at 31-28 at the end of the third quarter. Cedar Park outscored Eastview 20-0 in the fourth to win going away 48-31. Another 2014 comeback. Down 14-0 to number 10 Crosby. 9:49 into the 2014 state semifinal at DKR. Cedar Park scored 21 straight in the next 4:41 to take a 21-14 lead and never trailed again, outscoring the Cougars after falling behind 49-7 in that 49-21 win. Amir Alzer was a quarterback that night too. The next year, 2015, down 35-20 on the road at fourth-ranked Vandegrift with 4:20 to play in the first half. Over the next 26-38, the Timberwolves went on a 38-3 run to win going away. Max Sexton threw 3 touchdown passes, 2 to Tommy Levine, 1 to Sam Castor. Hayden Craig and Tyler Levine had touchdown runs, and a Vandy punt was blocked out of the end zone, while the Black Rain held the Vipers to 33 second-half rushing yards and sacked quarterback Alex Fernandez 6 times, forcing 2 lost fumbles to win 58-38. Then in 2017, big comeback number 9, 2 more to go. Down 7-0 in the first quarter at home against Georgetown again. Cedar Park lost forever. The best quarterback the program had ever seen as he scored a 1-yard sneak to tie the game. Max Sexton was ambulanced to the hospital, and untested Ryan Fiala stepped in. It wasn't pretty, and the team stumbled to a 27-7 halftime deficit. In the locker room at the half, Fiala got an inspirational phone call from Sexton in the hospital. Ryan went out, and with the help of a ferocious Black Rain defense, engineered a 21-0 second-half shutout to win 28-27. And now the greatest comeback in the history of Cedar Park football. 2019, down 35-21 on the road against San Angelo Central with 51 seconds to play, the Timberwolves scored twice, the second time with only 14 seconds left to tie the game and force overtime. First, Ryder Hernandez scored on a 13-yard run. After the world's fastest 3-and-out, it only took 25 seconds off the clock. Hernandez then hit Josh Cameron on a 25-yard scoring pass with 14 seconds left, and Borer's kick tied the game. On the second play of overtime, the Black Rain ripped the ball from the Bobcats, but then our offense started all the way back at the 40 instead of the 25 due to a penalty. 5 plays later, it didn't matter. They scored on a 9-yard run by Brock Johnson for the 41-35 win. Cedar Park had scored 21 unanswered points after there were just 51 seconds left in the game, and that is our program's greatest comeback ever. I'm out of breath. All right, before we move on, here are the other games for teams in our District 11-581 during this week. Eastview's 0-1. They'll visit Copperas Cove, also 0-1. Hendrickson's 0-1. They'll host Colleen Ellison, who is 0-1. Georgetown is 1-0. They host Vista Ridge, 0-1. Leander is 1-0. Let me say that again. Leander is 1-0. The undefeated Leander Lions. They will be on the road at Bastrop, who's 0-1. Glenn's 1-0, and they host Victoria West, who's 0-1. A&M Consolidated 1-0, hosts Lufkin 1-0. That will be a good game. College Station, maybe surprisingly, maybe not 0-1, hosts Fort Worth Nolan Catholic 1-0. You might ask who that is. Well, they about half of the last 12 or 15 state private school championships in their classification, they won. Fort Worth Nolan Catholic is darn good. College Station is going to have their hands full a second week in a row. Lost big to Chris Ross and Lovejoy last week. They could lose again this week and go 0-2. But, like we said before, that's happened to us. It didn't stop us. All right, so this season, a new trivia effort each Tuesday night. In addition to the standard games that we'll still play, we're going to pit Josh against each night's roster of player guests. I'll ask each side 3 different trivia questions that are all about sports in general. And because of his extra years of acquired wisdom, if we choose to call it that, Josh's questions will be a bit more difficult than the players. But whichever side gets the most correct answers gets a free ice cream treat, on me in other words, from the Alzer's ice cream freezer right over there. If it's a tie, Josh wins. Sorry, house rules. But since there's no Josh tonight, a modification. You defensive backs, go ahead and pick 2 of you to go against each other. Winner gets the ice cream. A tie, a push, means no ice cream. So guys, pick 2 guys who are going to come over and trade the headset back and forth and answer these general sports questions. All right. Go ahead and scoot over as close as you can so you can just hand it to him. Alex and who is it? Jace. Alex and Jace are doing this. All right, there's going to be 3 questions to each participant. First question is going to be kind of easy. If you're a general sports fan, if all you know is soccer, you're not going to do good here. The second one will be harder. The third's going to be hard. All right, here we go. We'll start with Underwood. Okay, you're a defensive back. You better get this one right. In the NFL, is a defensive pass interference penalty a spot foul or a 15-yard penalty? A spot foul! Ding, ding, ding. Underwood gets the point. He leads 1-0. Go to the bottom of the second inning. For Jace Meredith. The city of Austin has only one major league sports franchise. What is it? Austin FC. Meredith ties it 1-1. Okay, pretty easy questions if you're a general sports fan. These might be a little tougher, especially if what we ask is in a sport that's not your, niche of specialty. Yeah, your forte, as Underwood says. What team, Alex, won the World Series last year? Ooh. What team?
Was it the Astros?
I need to get that music in here.
I'm just gonna have to go with the Astros.
Not the Astros. It was the Atlanta Braves.
Atlanta Braves.
Atlanta Braves. You know what? I didn't know that one either. When I dreamed of that question, I had to look it up. All right. The medium question now for Jace. Name 3 active NFL quarterbacks who played their high school football in the Austin area.
Drew Brees.
Well, he's not active.
Oh, active. Oh, Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
College counts?
Sure, but I'm talking about they're currently active NFL quarterbacks.
Sam Ellinger.
Yes. The other one, I'll give you a little bit of hint. The other one won a Super Bowl.
Oh, Foles?
Yep, Nick Foles. All right, point for Jace Meredith. The difficult question. I will laugh with glee, happy glee, if you get this one.
Oh, just to see you laugh. Now I want to get it.
Who was the starting right guard for the Green Bay Packers in 1967? Told you they were going to be hard. Question 3 is hard. Do either of you guys know this? Don't shout it out. Who were the starting right guard for the Green Bay Packers in 1967? Don't shout it out, but not if you know it.
I'm
Peyton Manning.
speechless. Yeah.
Don't know it. Okay.
I'm speechless. No answer.
You guys may know this name when I say it. Jerry Kramer. Craig. Yeah, both of you recognize it. The old guys in here recognize that. I was a kid when that went on. All right. The tough question now for Jace Meredith. There are 2 ways you can score in Australian rules football. Name one of them.
Run the ball in.
No. There's 2 ways, though. Maybe you can still name one of them. I'll give you 2 shots.
Kicking it.
But specifically how?
Drop kicking it.
But kicking it, not technique-wise, but you got to give me a little more detail than that. What's worth points when you kick it?
Kicking it through a field goal? No?
It's pretty close. I'll give you a half a point. I think you've won anyway because you're up 2-1. You kick. They got 4 goalposts, 2 tall ones, and then on the side of them 2 shorter ones. So there's 4. If you kick it through the middle one, it's 6 points. Through either the outside ones is 1 point.
I think I would have paid you if you got the point. Yeah.
So Jace Meredith gets the ice cream. Jace, if you'll go over there to that, you just go ahead and put the headset down. Go ahead and pick whichever item of ice cream you want. They're going to charge that to me, and get that going. All right. Now, Coach, if you'll come back over here and don the headset, we're going to do a preview of the Vandegrift Vipers from your point of view. I'm going to cede most of this segment to Coach Brendan McCarthy, but I will point out that last year we lost big to the Vipers on the road, 42-7. They were carved off of our Southern attendance zone. In 2010, we lead the all-time series, but they have won 3 of the last 4. They went 12-2 overall last year, 6-1 as co-champions of District 25 6A, and drove 4 rounds deep into the playoffs, just barely losing to Westlake in the Region 4 finals, 70-7. I don't know. I think they thought it was a flag football game. They opened last week with a rather surprising loss to Dripping Springs, 23-20. They will be hungry to take a bite out of us because they hate us more than any other team. Coach, what are the keys going to be Friday night at the Gup?
Well, I think, defensively, again, their offensive scheme, they try to trick you. A lot of motion. Get different sets, different formations, and I think, again, defensive standpoint, if we can make sure we're lined up correctly, making the right checks, making the right calls, and I think we can do some things. Now, obviously, they're a good team, well-coached team. So it'll be tough, right? But I think our kids are up for the challenge. They've been working hard, and I think last year it was the very first game of the season, and we had a lot of first timers playing varsity. So that's always a wake up call, that first varsity game, and it showed last year. What's kind of nice this year is now we're kind of in the same boat. We have a lot of first timers, but they've already got that game
under it, yeah,
under their belt. So going into this, I feel good. I think the kids feel confident, and like I said, I think if they can just weather the storm, just because they're going to come out and do a bunch of different things and formation and motion, and if we can just get lined up to it and just make the right calls,
yeah. I think one of the keys on defense is keep them in front of you.
Exactly.
We let them get by us on some plays.
Yeah.
And that was the name of that last game. If you watch that game, watch all their plays, but take those 5 long passes out. Just watching the rest of the game, the defense looks pretty good. It's only 2.5 yards a play, and they only completed 3 passes and 2 of them lost yards. So, it's just a matter of somehow keeping them in front of us and not letting the big plays happen.
Right, and then that's exactly what we told them too. Said, look, hey, it was frustrating, but I said those 5 big plays, you take those away, it's a different ball game, And like I said, I think with having that under their belt now, it'll be a little bit better, going into Friday.
Offensively, we had 8 guys catch passes last week, so their hands are broken in a little bit. You got Arp, who's broken in with the most passing yardage ever in an opener for a starting quarterback in his first game at 241, and he could have done more. He's running for his life a lot and having to just dump things out of bounds. If he could have been able to find people on those, who knows how many he could have thrown for. So I think one of the keys is going to be the O-line too. He literally didn't get to just drop back, plant that foot, step up one, and look around for a while. It just never happened. As soon as he planted, he was flushed out and running for his life. If he could get better pass protection, there's no telling what he might be able to throw for.
Yeah, and they'll get better. And again, I think our O-line is pretty young as well. You know, and so I think
getting experience,
absolutely. So I'm sure that they're working hard on that and this week, and Aiden's just he's
how's his head? Yeah,
just
what you
Joe
see.
Cool.
Good.
It's funny.
He performed well.
I like to watch him because things are going great, you wouldn't know it. Things are going bad, you wouldn't know it.
Man, that's what you want.
Exactly.
All our best quarterbacks had that quality through the years.
Yeah. So it'll be fun to watch. You
All
know,
right. And you can watch it right here on the Vype Live Network. Josh will have the play-by-play. I'll be over with the stadium mic. So once again, the Booster Club sponsors this year: Covert Ford, Sewell Land Rover and Jaguar, Mission of Hope, Life Family, Reap Financial, TJ Lewis Real Estate, Raising Cane's, Kathy Tam Photography, Mungia Real Estate, ROI Sport Performance and Physical Therapy, One Stop, Rudy's, Army Ant, Majoris, and HEB. That's it for our second episode of Timberwolf Night in America for 2022. Friday night, the team's home opener as they take on the Vandegrift Vipers. Kickoff 7 o'clock at the GUP. Our pregame show starts at 6:45 on the Vype Network. As I said, I'll be on the stadium mic, so Josh will have the play-by-play. Cecil with technical production and additional commentary. Our thanks to our guests tonight, the defensive backs and their coach, Brendan McCarthy, Alex Underwood, Cody Manning, Cole McLaughlin, Jace Meredith, Garrison Cockrell. For our QA, Len DeSalvo. For my own personal Chris Collinsworth, Josh Willard. In absentia, this is Brad Cohn signing off. You've been listening to Timberwolf Night in America on the Vype Live Network.